What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about the Monster Hunter film formerly scheduled to be coming out in April, now coming out in December. They delayed it to then move it back up in a really weird twist of fate. But I want to talk a little bit about that movie and talk about if it's going to destroy the Monster Hunter, basically the brand, the games, just Monster Hunter in general. But really quickly, before I do that, if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, which, by the way, a majority of the audience that watches these videos are not subscribed. I'm really trying to get to 2,000 subscribers on this channel. Would mean a lot to me if you guys were to hit that subscribe button. I do a daily video talking about all sorts of things, movies, games, TV on this channel. So again, hopefully today's the day that you guys will subscribe. So look, this Monster Hunter film, it's been something that I've kept my eye on. It's something, I watch a lot of movies. I keep my eye on a lot of films in terms of like coming out. And as I've said before, like Podcast Now Plus, it's a channel they're channels that does cover movies. It's just I haven't done it much over the last 6 months, which I think you guys can understand why. It's because there's just no movies out. But this Monster Hunter movie is something that I've kept my eye on. It's something that I've seen the set shots, like the actual set photos of what they all look like. I've read what's going on with this film, and then, we obviously had this teaser. Now, the teaser was not met, I would say, with the greatest enthusiasm, like, honestly, all Paul Anderson films. Now, here's the deal. I don't hate the Resident Evil movies. Maybe that makes me a bad person. Maybe that makes me just somebody that you don't want to, support or watch anymore. I don't hate them. I don't think they're good, okay? I just don't. I think are they like guilty pleasure films? You can maybe argue that. I think there's some good things in them. I think they have some good ideas to them. I think Milla Jovovich is actually a really, really good actress that just, obviously she's married to him, and so she appears in a lot of his movies. She can carry movies to a certain degree. Even like Hellboy, which was an absolute disaster from start to finish, I would say, and I think even from what I've seen everybody else say, kind of one of the major praises that movie got is her. Okay, so when we're talking about this Monster Hunter film, I do think it's important to talk about her. I think she's going to do fine. I think she's going to carry the movie as much as she humanly possibly can. I don't think it's going to be enough. Again, like the Resident Evil movies, I mean, I like Alice. I like her as a character. I like her acting, and I do think she does literally everything possible to carry those Resident Evil movies. And again, they're not the worst things in the world. I also just don't think they're flat out good at all. They're kind of in that middle ground of being not terrible but not good in my mind. When they were announced doing Monster Hunter and it was him, Paul Anderson, I think again met with a lot of why in dear God does he keep getting these properties, and why does he keep getting these properties from Capcom? Monster Hunter is interesting because even someone like me, okay, so my wife, she played Monster Hunter World. She loves it. She played actually quite a lot. I've always wanted to jump into it, but I got to be transparent and honest with you guys. I haven't played Monster Hunter. Okay, I haven't jumped in. Maybe one day I will. In fact, in seeing that I've gotten into more games than I ever have before, and I've actually completed more games, I'm more interested than ever in getting into games that I don't normally play. I can almost guarantee you that one day I will play, okay, a Monster Hunter game. So there's not much I can talk about in terms of literally the specifics of okay, is it going to ruin this plot line? Is it going to ruin this character? Stuff like that. I don't know. I literally cannot speak to that. But will it ruin the brand of Monster Hunter? Well, the Resident Evil films did not ruin the games, so I would argue that this film will not hurt at all the game. The difficult thing is this. Monster Hunter is a game that's been around, or the franchise has been around for a very long time. Okay, very long time. And it's had its ups and downs, but generally people have always really liked it. It's just a game that's taken a long time to be accepted by the Western gaming audience, okay? And actually quite a few games have done that. Even like Persona, with Persona 4 Golden, I would say that was the first time that a game like that was really accepted by Western audiences, and you see what they have done. Persona, which I just said, that's a good example because these games have only gotten bigger, have only gotten more successful. And then you have Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World sold insane millions and millions of copies. It was the highest selling Monster Hunter game they've ever done. Okay, so you have to, obviously they're going to make more of them. And it's, by the way, still a game that gets updates and support now, and it's still got players that are playing it now. So I guess there's a couple differences. Well, number one, I think Monster Hunter is more on a high right now than maybe Resident Evil was during the patch, especially maybe towards the late movies, in which the game equivalent was RE5, RE6. So it really started to lose a lot of steam, especially towards the end, where it's like, okay, the movies are not great to a lot of people. The games are doing God knows what. Like, what the heck are the games doing? So RE, was kind of in a weird spot. Obviously, it's bounced back and done super fine since then. Monster Hunter is at a really high period right now where it's like, okay, we finally get a game that's done so well and been accepted by so many people, and it's on the up and up. The thing is, I don't think Monster Hunter has, I guess, the longevity of when it was out over the past like decade plus. Okay, I don't know if it's had the massive success back then to stand up to what Resident Evil has. And again, does that actually matter? I really don't think so. That's why this Monster Hunter film is actually so weird, because I don't know how many people would go see it anyway. I think you could have tricked I think they did trick people into going to see the Resident Evil movies, because RE was such a big franchise and was so popular. And even when the first movie came out, it had been around for a little while, and it had been not just been around, because again, Monster Hunter's been around, but been around and been very, very popular. Okay, very, very popular. And you could say maybe the same thing for Monster Hunter is the same popularity. That's up to you guys to decide. It's just a weird idea. It's a weird idea that the film, or they would do a Monster Hunter film, because I guess there's potential there, right? There's some interesting stories and creatures, right? I think that's kind of the main draw of these films, or of the, we'll see if there's more, but of this film is all of the creatures, all of the weapons that they're using, and then it kind of just has to work. I think that there's potential here to be better. Here's the thing. I did not hate the teaser trailer. I know a lot of people did hate the teaser trailer. I did not hate the teaser trailer. Well, firstly, can you really hate something that was like 25 seconds long? There wasn't a lot to see. It was mainly Mila Jovovich and then that huge, Diablo or whatever they call the thing. So it's that. And I think that, there's not much you can really say, to that. The biggest question is, will they pull it off? It needs to be a story that has a beginning, middle, and end. It needs to have characters that actually work. And then, I don't know. It depends on expectations. For Resident Evil, there was beginning, middle, and ends of all the movies. They got more complicated and not even in a good way, not sophisticated where it was like, oh my god, this is so deep and so amazing. More like just confusing and bringing characters back when they really like why or how, and then taking out characters but not killing them. More like that you couldn't get them for a specific movie, so we're just gonna leave them out for some reason, and we will never explain how they can come back. Like Claire, Ali Larter, who was Claire for a couple movies and then just disappeared and then came back in the last one. No explanation whatsoever of how she got back or where she was, but here she is. You know what I mean? So, those are movie mistakes, big movie mistakes. So hopefully they don't do that for Monster Hunter, and there just needs to be a respect. Again, I wanted to talk about this because I thought this would be interesting and fun, and I'm having fun. I think it's interesting, so hopefully you guys think so too. It's not a movie or franchise that I can connect with as well as like Uncharted. So Uncharted, when that movie gets closer and when we start seeing things of that movie, I'm going to be more passionate. I'm going to be more engaged because it's like, don't you dare mess up my movie. I'm going to want specific story beats covered or not covered, stuff like that. And those are things that I'm very passionate on, and I know that I know I can't be as much on Monster Hunter. I just can't because I don't know as much about it. But other people, I can see, you know what I mean? If people have that same feeling of how I feel with Uncharted for Monster Hunter, I feel for you. I want to say that. I feel for you, and I really hope they do this movie justice. Again, I think Mila Jovovich is going to be fine. I think she's going to be able to carry this movie as much. I think she's going to make it where the movie is not a complete garbage fire. However, Hellboy was a complete garbage fire, and she was also in that. But again, she was the best part of it. So for this, maybe the same thing. Maybe she's so good, and well, a thing with this too is she's the main character, and everybody that's kind of around her is going to revolve around her. Maybe she can carry it more than she could carry Hellboy. So I'm trying to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. This is a movie that I'd be interested in watching. I don't think this is going to get me back in theaters. I mean, I was hoping for Wonder Woman. I was hoping for James Bond. Like those would be movies. Even like Free Guys. Like those would be a movie. That would be a movie that I would go see in theaters. Don't think Monster Hunter is a movie I would go see in theaters, but it's definitely a movie that I would watch at home, that I would want to eventually get my hands on in some way. So, take that for whatever it's worth. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are you excited for this film? Do you think this film will do the games justice? Let me know. As always, like I said in the beginning of the video, getting very close to 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys haven't subbed, please do that. Hit the bell icon. I do a brand new video every single day. And like I said, talk about movies, talk about games, whatever the big thing is. It tends to be news stories on this channel more often than not. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all in tomorrow's video.